How do you render realistic materials with PBR and digital painting? Are you curious about how to make your digital art look more lifelike? Rendering realistic materials using physically based rendering in digital painting can transform your artwork. Let's break down how to achieve this effect step by step. First, it is essential to understand that physically based rendering simulates how light interacts with materials. This method relies on real-world physical properties to create realistic appearances under various lighting conditions. To start, focus on three primary material properties. The first is base color, also known as albedo. This defines the inherent color of the material without any lighting effects. It shows how the surface reflects diffuse light. Next is metalness. This property helps differentiate between metallic and non-metallic surfaces. Metals reflected light differently, often showing colored reflections, while non-metals display more diffuse reflections. The third property is roughness. This controls how smooth or rough a surface is, which affects the sharpness and spread of reflections. A low roughness value indicates a smooth, shiny surface, while a high roughness value results in a matte, diffuse look. In addition to these properties, normal maps are crucial. They simulate small surface details and bumps without increasing geometry complexity. This influences how light interacts with the texture of the surface. Now, let's talk about the workflow for rendering realistic materials. Start by creating or sourcing accurate texture maps for base color, roughness, metalness, and normals. Use physically based shaders that calculate light interaction based on these maps and physical laws. Adjust parameters to reflect the material's context within the scene. Consider factors like wear, dirt, or environmental effects to add realism. You can introduce variation and detail through procedural textures or hand-painted details to avoid flat surfaces. One of the best aspects of physically based rendering is that materials respond predictably to different lighting setups. This versatility is beneficial for digital art and illustrations, especially when lighting conditions change. When working with software that supports physically based rendering workflows, such as Substance Painter, you can paint or generate these texture maps. Preview materials under various lighting conditions to fine-tune realism. Understanding how light behaves physically allows you to make informed decisions about representing materials like metals, plastics, fabrics, or skin. This ensures the final render looks believable and engaging. In summary, rendering realistic materials with physically based rendering in digital painting involves combining accurate physical properties, detailed texture maps, and appropriate shader use. This method mimics real-world light-material interactions, resulting in lifelike and consistent digital illustrations.